it comes to wealth, there are few groups that have more than royal families. While modern tech CEOs or luxury brand magnates can afford fancy mansions all over the globe, royal families can scoop up palaces all over the world. While A-list celebrities are flying around on private jets, royal families are taking their private helicopters to their $500 million yachts. But there is no royal family more wealthy than the royal family of Saudi Arabia, with an estimated net wealth of over $1.5 trillion. The family has one of the biggest fortunes on earth. Today, we're going to take a look at the royal family, specifically the King of Saudi Arabia, Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. We'll explore his rise to power, his dozens of lavish properties, and even the controversy and corruption that swirls around him. King Salman is a member of the House of Saud, the ruling family of Saudi Arabia that can be traced back to the 1700s. The family earned almost all of their immense wealth from oil, and to this day, they're earning money from it still. King Salman was one of 45 sons born to Ibn Saud, the first king of Saudi Arabia. From the beginning, he lived a life of luxury, one of the Suderi Seven, the seven sons of his father's favorite wife. He was one of the most respected children in the royal family. He was raised in Maruba Palace, a prominent palace outside of modern-day Riyadh. The palace was a spectacle in its time. 2 stories with 32 rooms, servant quarters, lush courtyards, ornamental carvings, and at the time, the only electricity and telephones in Saudi Arabia. King Salman went to school to get an extensive education, but he didn't go to any random school. His father, the king, created a school called the Prince's School that was made just for his sons and the children of important business people. Imagine having enough money to build an entire school just to educate your kid. When he turned 19, King Salman got his first job in the kingdom. In 1954, he became the deputy governor. Then, in 1963, he became the provincial governor. His power as governor lasted for 48 years. During that time, he helped develop Riyadh from a small desert town into the booming metropolis that it is today. He oversaw the building of malls, museums, and luxury businesses to pull wealthy tourists into the city. During this time, he was adamant about developing healthy relationships with Europe and the West, which further helped stabilize Riyadh financially. As time passed, his role only grew. In 2011, he became the second deputy prime minister and the minister of defense, the latter of which would bring controversy to his power. That power only became more controversial when he became king in 2015, after the passing of his older brother. In 2015, he ordered the bombing of Yemen after the royal family in Yemen fled the city to escape an uprising. During this time, Saudi Arabia committed multiple war crimes against Yemen, including the destruction of a camp that housed civilians displaced by war. Cluster bombs were used, and altogether, over 100,000 civilians were killed in the fighting. That being said, most criticism for the ruling family is directed at one individual, King Salman's son, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Even Prince Salman's rise to power is marred by controversy. The former crown prince, Naif, was removed from his position of power and replaced by Prince Salman. When he was replaced, he was put under house arrest, removed from all his political positions, and hidden from the public for months. In fact, dozens of rival princes, billionaires, and political powers have been put under house arrest, arrested for corruption, and exiled from Saudi Arabia since Prince Salman has rose to power. The most controversy, however, came with the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal was a well-known journalist who had become increasingly critical of the royal family, specifically Prince Salman. Jamal was murdered by Saudi Arabian officials at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. By 2018, the CIA determined that Prince Salman had ordered the murder. That being said, nothing will come of the killing. There will be no murder charges filed and no pushback from the public, simply because the family is so wealthy. How wealthy are they exactly? Well, as I said earlier, the royal family earned almost all of its money on oil. The state-owned oil company, Saudi Aramco, is the backbone of the royal family's fortune. Saudi Aramco is considered by many to be the wealthiest company in the world by revenue. They have the world's second largest crude oil reserves and the largest largest daily oil production in the world. In addition, many members of the royal family have jobs and own shares of companies around the globe. King Salman was implicated in the Panama Papers for using an offshore company in the British Virgin Isles to take out mortgages on his luxury property in London. The mortgages totaled $35 million. And those luxury homes aren't the only properties owned by King Salman. In total, he has 4 palaces at his disposal, each more extravagant than the last. Al Yamamaka Palace is stunning, a sprawling estate in Riyadh. As the primary residence of King Salman, it looks exactly as you would expect. The massive home has ornate marble floors, intricate crown molding, geometric carvings, expensive silk carpets, and crystal chandeliers. Hand-painted wall panels are coated in gold, which only adds to the royal feel of the building. Al Uja Palace, a smaller palace outside of Riyadh, is just as... Enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip to doodly-doo.